Brigitte was supposed to save Overwatch.
Almost takes him out, does get him in the end. Now goes for Ajax, and we might just see Goats break that curse, win this one out, and advance to the grand finals.
Just doing my part.
She was designed to bring something different to the game. Innovation, new tactics, a fresh approach. Instead, she destroyed Overwatch.
Brigitte was too powerful. There's just too much there.
I want to know who at Blizzard thought it was a good idea to release a hero like this.
They will just simply swap it away. Crucial time lost here for the Outlaws. You want your team to win, right? They're going to have to play what's meta.
By the end of the first season of the Overwatch League, people were getting pretty sick of the game's only solid strategy: dive.
Janice kind of hold up.
Watch screen for the Graviton here.
All they need to do is push people back. There's the Graviton surge. Can they finish off the members of New York? Now they don't really have a lot of combo with it. They lose Rocket, so Saviably comes back, and now New York looks like they're finally ready to end this attack run.
It's not like I don't want to play Overwatch, because I do, but the meta right now literally is ass. I would rather do push-ups. I would rather lose weight. I would rather run a mile. Things like that, those are some things I'd rather do than play Overwatch right now in this meta, because it is boring as F.
The same thing was playing out in every single match over and over again. The fans demanded something new, and Blizzard listened.
So let's talk about Brigitte from a gameplay standpoint, because I think that's where she really shines. So she is a support character first and foremost, but she also shares a lot of traits that fit the tank role. So it should be a really interesting hybrid sort of character that you want to play. But remember, primarily she's support.
Brigitte was designed to destroy dive.
The utility she brings with her stuns and dashes makes her good at controlling dive heroes such as Genji and Tracer.
She was tanky, had great crowd control, and offered your squishy healers and damage dealers even better support than they already had. And one team in particular took advantage of her powers.
Fozzik has to fade on in, smacks a Graviton and a prayer, respawns coming in, overtime! Oh no! How has this happened?
Shortly after Brigitte was released, an unknown team shook up the North American Open Division with a new strategy that dominated the bracket. That team was called Goats.
Fueling up the fair, actually winning this one out just with that flail alone, as he almost takes him out, does get him in the end. Now goes for Ajax, and we might just see Goats break that curse, win this one out, and advance to the grand finals.
Goats rolled up to their matches with 3 tanks and 3 supports, which sounded ridiculous at the time, but they proved that it actually worked.
The point of the comp is to have a high sustain, high mobility comp that is really hard to kill. A big part of that is the heal output of Brig.
Goats proved so effective that other teams started playing it too. Runaway, who later became the Vancouver Titans, used Goats to enter the scene with a bang in Season 2.
Homecoming there with 2 members left alive. Can they actually extend this?
Oh my god, the Bucks almost time, but it's not enough!
It's not enough! Is gonna plummet, and that just to be it! Runaway, they finally done it! The 3rd attempt! They get the championship win!
And while there was a little bit of variation in which heroes you picked, eventually the 3-3 comp was used by pretty much every pro team in the world. All of a sudden, some random amateur team's troll strategy was the defining meta of Overwatch. And Brigitte was the whole reason that Goats worked. She could heal her entire team, provide armor, and deal damage. She could do it all. And it was becoming a huge problem.
Just her base stats with her healing and her ult and everything in her kit is just extremely strong, and it shuts down a lot of the DPS characters that used to be played and allow for the more traditional, as we know, like Goats or 3-3 comps.
There's just too much there. AoE healing, armor, the armor buff, reducing damage, stun, you get your own barrier as well. I mean, it's just the issue with how things went when you start leaning away from mechanical demands in terms of aim and that sort of thing, and you start leaning towards abilities, is that everybody then gets abilities.
One of the biggest problems with Goats is that it essentially pushed damage out of the meta.
For me, it was more like, oh no, we're gonna see actual damage dealers, damage players. get shifted over to Brigitte. Or, Prophet had to play Brigitte, for example. You're not going to get, they're not going to have that role. Brigitte was too powerful.
Casual Overwatch players love damage heroes. They love flashy plays and high skill ceilings.
Pine a little bit on his own here. Oh, but he takes Clockwork out as he comes in. There's another one of Linkser. Here's the hard carry. Gets Benny with the Deadeye. And there's another one. Pine, this guy is unstoppable.
But a Goats comp with its team fight winning ultimates and unstoppable sustain stomped on any standard 2 damage, 2 tank, 2 support comp every time. And in this new meta, the players who dedicated themselves to DPS heroes were becoming obsolete.
And so you're gonna have guys like, Tavik, IDDQD, like all these like pure damage dealer guys. They're just gonna fall off because you're going to instead lean into the guys who can play the Mei or who can play those kinds of multi-role heroes that get lumped into damage, and then all of a sudden, well, there you are. You're not gonna see the damage dealers. You're gonna see the Meis, and nobody wants to see the Meis.
As much as people hated Dive, it was a high-speed, high-skill meta. Goats was boring.
I cannot imagine what it's like to be a pro player right now. Chat, I want you to think of this, okay? People and pro players scrim this meta probably 6 to 8 hours a day. Think about it. Think about how their brain... Chat, this is your brain on Goats. Go!
The games were drawn out, confusing, and really boring to watch. Which of course meant that fans began to hate the character who brought them Goats in the first place.
I want to know who at Blizzard thought it was a good idea to release a hero like this. She makes me want to uninstall the fucking game. Brigitte has to be, without a doubt, the worst hero addition in Overwatch so far.
If there is a High Masters / GM Brigitte on the other team, and you're a professional level Overwatch League Tracer player, you're probably going to swap or else you're kind of throwing. And you could dodge all the stuns in the world by the Brigitte, but the nature of it is, just by that Brigitte existing, her passive armor that she gives via her heal, her passive aura health, how tanky she is, just the threat and the nuisance that she can zone you out, she counters you just by existing.
The hate even reached Brigitte's voice actor, Matilda Smedius.
I wasn't really looking for support. I wasn't really looking for anything. I was just kind of fed up with those messages popping up all the time. And I don't understand why people like hashtag delete Brig on my pictures or call me fat.
As far as the community was concerned, Brigitte was a brain-dead character, capable of being played by any monkey with a mouse and keyboard.
This is what I mean, dude. This is Brig. Patrick is Brig, and I'm fucking SpongeBob. I'm like this. Oh, I need to hit the fucking push bomb, dude. I need to hit the push bomb. Oh my god. Blink, dodge, blink, blink. Oh my god. And then Brig is like, this shit, dude. Let's go.
Blizzard spent months trying to nerf Brigitte and tweak other heroes so that people would stop playing Goats. But nothing worked. Eventually, the devs just threw their hands up, and in a desperate bid to make sure that Goats was never played again, they introduced the 2-2-2 role lock.
I think it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be exciting for sure.
I imagine we'll see like a lot more dive, like Winston Diva. You'll probably see the comeback of like Tracer and Genji a lot because you just can't really play Brig as much.
I get to play DPS again. Woo!
And though some people were excited for it at first, role lock ended up being pretty unpopular too.
Dude, the meta's dog shit. I don't want to play it. Mike, okay. Look, we're gonna go play Overwatch. We're gonna play approximately 1 game per hour. What do you even do? 1 game per hour and it's double shield Sigma.
I think like when 2-2-2 came out, it definitely killed it for me. The queue times were like hours long. I couldn't fucking play a hero I wanted sometimes. Like, everything just sucked about it.
What's killing the game for me right now, what's stopping me from being happy waking up and streaming games in Overwatch is basically I know I'm not going to be able to play my DPS. I can't play my DPS anymore. It's gone. No one wants to watch a fucking streamer, whether you're really fucking good at the game or a former pro, if you can't find a game in 2 hours. No one's gonna do that.
And in 2020, Overwatch League made the jump from Twitch to YouTube, taking an even bigger viewership hit in the process.
Dude, there's also a big chance that the Overwatch League is just gonna die completely. And when I mean dead, I mean 50k viewers.
And so when you're not on Twitch, all of a sudden you're going to lose that click-through traffic of just people kind of who are idling or doing something else, working, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's like, it's not quite the same thing with YouTube. It's harder to find the channel. You're not just going to, click into YouTube. I don't even know. Like, I mean, there are people that stream on YouTube. I never see them. So when you're not on Twitch, it's going to be, you're choosing a much more difficult path in terms of viewership numbers.
But with Overwatch 2 on the horizon and Blizzard's continued willingness to try new things, there might be some light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, it looks grim right now, but a year from now, who knows, right? And Blizzard are certainly capable of turning it around. So no, I mean, I have not given up hope on them.
Brigitte was supposed to fix Overwatch. She was supposed to shake things up and get people excited about the game again. Instead, she created the worst meta in the game's history and nearly destroyed the entire scene.
Thanks for watching. If you want more content like this, hit the sub button and ring that notification bell. For unique bite-sized videos you won't find anywhere else, hit up our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook pages.